everybody. Okay, so I had my second ultrasound this cycle. There was some fluid in there. Um, I get so ridiculously nervous when it comes to these ultrasounds. Like, I can't even begin to explain the anxiety I have about this because I just, man, I know it's there. I know there's fluid there because, it comes out. And I know the fluid is what's canceled more cycles than has worked. And it just makes me so nervous because what if it doesn't work? What if my body goes, nope, not today, buddy. We're not doing this again. That's just so disappointing. And I know it's not about me. I mean, it is about me, but it's not really about me. And if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But I just don't want to have to tell my parents, hey, it doesn't work. And then they have to go through the whole process and spend all the money over again to do the whole entire thing and find a new surrogate. Like, that's so disappointing. And these hormones get you crazy, and these hormones make you feel a little funky sometimes. And I just don't, man, I'm real easily tearable this time, I feel like. But I mean, the good news is there's a little bit of fluid. It's not a lot like it was before. And the lining is thicker. She said it's like a 6, and it's the appropriate pattern, which is trimilinears. It looks like an Oreo. And I don't feel like that there is a lot of it coming out, which gives me hope. I'm going to ask today when my clinic gal emails with the results and ask what we can do about it, because it just makes me real nervous. Like, I don't understand why. I mean, last time when it happened with the pregnancy I carried, it was like a small amount. I feel like this is par for course. This is how much it was last time, but I mean, it's been over a year, 2 years, 2 years since I had that, so I don't even really know. I can't really remember. So yeah, I don't know, it makes me nervous, but I feel okay, and I think I've gotta just relax. I think I've just gotta relax. We'll see. Okay, so cycle update. It's a few days after the last part of this video, and later that day, they did email and cancel my cycle. I was very surprised at this cycle cancel. Very surprised. Like I said, I didn't feel like it was so much. They said there was only 1 millimeter of fluid in there, and what they told me was basically it's not going to go away. We have to cancel the cycle. And I did ask, really without even having to ask. She said that I emailed back and was like, okay, but when can we transfer again? Because I don't want to be due around Christmas again. And she was like, 30 to 35 days after your period start, take these pills, which is an oral form of progesterone I asked to work to balance out the levels. And, excuse me. Always, you guys, you'd think it would go away after a year. Good Lord. And it just doesn't. She was like, doc thinks that maybe there's too much estrogen. She, this time they put me on oral and they put me on patches. So I had 2 patches, which give you 0.1 milligrams of estrogen per day. So I was getting 0.2 extra via the patches every day. They think that perhaps that's the reason the fluid is there, because, I scrolled back and I looked at my emails from last transfer and trying to see what was different. And the only thing that's really different is those patches. I thought maybe I wasn't taking birth control before, and she was, no, I was taking birth control before, and it's the same birth control. Yeah, so the only thing that's different is those patches. So here's hoping that this time we don't have any issues. It makes me feel even more nervous because, it's kind of the 3 strikes and you're out rule. At least that's how I've always understood it. So I'm not I don't know. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. Um, I was though very, 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 very upset. I got the email very late in the day. Normally I get them when I go over early like that. I get the emails, usually like 10 to noonish. And I didn't get this until like 4:45 that afternoon. And, I was, coming back from getting some dinner, and I was more than slightly upset. I had already had my Lupron shot for the afternoon, and like, just I was so upset. I called a friend of mine who is in the surrogacy world, and I was like, I feel stupid. Like, I feel real stupid, and I feel like I'm letting my parents down, and I hate feeling like it. Makes me feel like there's something wrong with me. I mean, I know the process works, but it makes me feel like there's something wrong. And why isn't it working? Why is it not doing what it's supposed to do? And that's a hard thing to deal with. Like, I just kind of feel like a failure. And I was just so upset about it, you guys. And I woke up the next morning to a message from my mom on WeChat, and she said, I'm so sorry to hear that we had to cancel this cycle. The doctor is going to make some changes to medications, and it's going to be fine. And it was just so funny because, like, how did she know? Like, how did she know? I mean, I told her, I'm like, thank you for that, because I'm really upset about it. I feel like I'm letting you guys down, and I feel bad. Like, it's upsetting to me because I know how much you guys want this, and I feel like I'm letting you guys down. And she just basically said, you're not. We'll be okay. We're going to be fine. And, that was really nice. I really appreciated that because, on our side of this, I feel like, or at least in my experience, I didn't have any communication through this part of it with my last set of parents. And I didn't talk to them until I forced the communication through a roundabout way. My agency essentially like blocked communication, I figured out after the fact, and was trying to control our communication, with my last agency, not this one. And this agency is like, do what you want. You guys, this is all you. And so it was nice to have that support this time from them. I mean, yeah, because I did. I felt really, really shitty. I mean, I felt really shitty. As surrogates, like I said, I didn't have a lot of communication. So I kind of felt like I was walking through it on my own, and the support I had was my family and my friends and my work coworkers, but none of them have gone through this. I have one friend who's gone through it, but she's not readily available, and I just didn't know. I don't know, it was nice. And so it was, I appreciated that she reached out to me. I really did. So here's hoping the next one works. I really hope it does, and I hope we don't have any issues, and I hope this time it's better, because I would appreciate this to work and get this ball rolling. But more than likely we're going to have to wait, because right now, the way this medication cycle worked out, they put me on the oral progesterone to even out my hormones. The oral progesterone, about 4 to 5 days after that, then my natural cycle starts on its own, I guess. And then 30 to 35 days, she said we can transfer after that, which puts us smack into April, which puts us at a due date of December, and I won't do it. So the beginning of April, we transferred April 10th last time, and I was due December 27th. So we need to transfer in late April or early May, or sometimes after late April, in order to work with my schedule. An April and Marchish, like a late March, early April transfer is not going to work for me. Because if you figure it out, whatever day is transferred, that day you are considered 2 weeks and 5 days pregnant. And so if you base that off of what your last menstrual period would be, that would be my LMP like mid-March. So beginning of March would put me roughly to around the same time. And I ain't doing it, guys. That's not how this ball's gonna roll again, because I will not ruin Christmas again. This time, if we had transferred, we were supposed to transfer on the 8th of March, and that would have put me due November 24th, which was 4 days before Christmas, or excuse me, 4 days before Thanksgiving. And I was agreeable to that because my due date was before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving this year actually is my son's birthday, and there was absolutely no way in HE double hockey sticks I was going to be in labor on my son's 20th birthday. So, yeah, so I have expressed that to my clinic and let them know. So more than likely we'll have to wait for another natural period cycle to get this ball rolling again, because I won't be due around Christmas. Oddly enough, that delay works a little bit better, actually a whole lot better, with the parent schedule. They have break in China, like their winter break is end of January-ish, beginning of February-ish. That mirrors that Chinese New Year. It does not work with my school schedule, but it works with theirs, which is really nice because they need to be here when their child is born. So we were really hoping to be transferred earlier, so we would be due like July, August, which is when their summer break is. So it's offset from ours a little bit by about a month or two. And but it would have been really nice to deliver then, so that they could have the summer with their, off and acclimate to having a newborn again. And yeah, so hopefully I'll keep you guys updated.